Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. He has already introduced me. My name is Calvin Okello. I work at FAWE Uganda. FAWE in full is Forum for African Women Educationalists. I work as education coordinator at FAWE Uganda. First of all, let me appreciate the organizers of this function for inviting FAWE to come and speak to the young ones who are applying for this opportunity. I want to congratulate the alumni and those who went through this program. Congratulations. It is true, FAWE has partnered with the Commonwealth since 2013 up to now. FAWE is a Pan-African non-governmental organization formed in 1993 and registered in Nairobi, Kenya. It is a women's organization which was formed by 5 visionary and distinguished African women ministers of education who resolved to walk the talk about the falling state of education in Africa. The strategy is to accelerate education for all by bridging the gender gap. Today, there are 34 FAWE chapters in Africa, which means there are 34 FAWE organizations in 34 African countries. Here we are here in Uganda. That is why the FAWE chapter is called FAWE Uganda. So when you go to other countries, it's called FAWE Kenya, FAWE Nigeria, and so on. Briefly, let me talk about FAWE Uganda as one of the nominating agencies for this program. FAWE Uganda was launched in 1997 to address the gender disparities in education, and that we are seeing through law access. It is a membership organization with over 300 registered members from the different professionals. I'd like to welcome you to join the FAWE membership. The women here, let's join hands with FAWE to push a cause for girl child education. Straight to the point, as FAWE Uganda since 1997, next year we are celebrating 25 years. Next year we are celebrating 25 years of FAWE existence in Uganda. And we shall invite the public and a number of you to join our celebration. We have done a lot in the country. Besides this, being a nominating agency for the Commonwealth Scholarship, we do a number of scholarships in Uganda. We are partnering with MasterCard Foundation, where we are sponsoring over 300 students in Uganda. We are partnering with Social Initiative, a Swedish organization, where we are sponsoring over 100 students. We have a friend called Mr. Forberg, who is sponsoring since 2010, has sponsored a number of students through FAWE Uganda to access higher education. And we have a good practice. Besides this scholarship, we are lobbying from HOUT. As FAWE staff in 2019, we sat down and agreed that there are more needy children. If you sit at FAWE, at my desk where I sit, and then you see the number of girls, the number of boys walking in with application, you would love to sit on that desk to receive applications with a lot of testimonies about challenges the children are facing outside there. With that, as FAWE staff, we resolve that if donors, we are loving donors to support more girl children access to schools. What are we doing as staff of FAWE? We agreed, and then we met however little salary we have, we agreed to put a minimum of 20,000 a month. I'm happy to report that we have a staff scholarship fund at FAWE Uganda, where we are now sponsoring over 20 students at the secondary school and universities. This scholarship fund is open to the public. We made the trial as staff to see the sustainability, and we are now opening it to everyone. If you feel that you want to contribute to your community, you want to give back to your community, kindly join us and we support this cause. Yeah, we also, through this challenge of overwhelming applications, we are also partnered with a number of universities in Uganda. We worked with the Makerere University Business School, who really saw the need that there are more girls to take them to school. Every year, Makerere Business School gives us 2 scholarships for 2 girls every year. And we started this since 2015, and we have a number of girls. FAWE recruit them and give them to Makerere Business School to sponsor them. And that is how, as FAWE Uganda, we have managed to contribute for more and more children to access education in Uganda. The same thing with Cavendish University. We also entered a partnership with Cavendish University. They also give 2 girls scholarships every year, especially from the refugee settings. So those are some of the few scholarships among other programs that we have at FAWE Uganda. Let me get back to as to why we are here today. I told you that FAWE collaboration with this scholarship started FAWE back in 2013. 2013 with an initial award of 8 scholarships to the girls, 7 masters and 1 PhD in 2013. There was a MOU signed between FAWE Africa and the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission in the UK. Why this partnership? I told you about access. This was done in order to give affirmative action to help increase the number of successful young women being awarded the scholarship. The scholarship was meant for talented individuals who could not otherwise afford to study in the UK and who have the potential to make change in their communities. As FAWE Uganda, we work through our mother FAWE, that's the regional secretary in Nairobi. This MOU is renewed after every 3 years. As Alaron mentioned, FAWE is a nominating agency. Annually, we nominate individuals for this scholarship for PhD masters. Individuals are nominated from low and middle income sub-Saharan African countries where FAWE has present. And I told you that we have present in 34 countries in Africa. The scholarship are attainable in the United Kingdom universities. I'm happy the experts, those who went through, have talked to us. I've learned so many things. I've not gone for the scope, but I've learned so many things. We have recommended many from as FAWE Uganda. I went through the Irish Aid Scholarship Program. What is the nomination process at FAWE Uganda? As FAWE Uganda, when it's called, is sent to us, we invite application at a country level each year. The number of nominations varies from year to year at the discretion of the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission. Our work as FAWE is to market or popularize, advertise the scholarship, clearly stating the eligibility criteria, who is eligible, and through appropriate recruitment avenues. That is our role as nominating agency. and then forward through the regional office in Nairobi and its national chapters in the 84 countries provide guidance to the interested applicant on the application criteria. When we advertise this through social media, we encourage those who are applying to visit our office in Bukoto, and then we have an officer who sits to guide. It is not a simple thing and needs a lot of patience. They summarize that it needs your patience, it needs your knowledge, your understanding of the program. Last year, for the last 2 years, we partnered with the Study India program. Study India program gave us opportunity to nominate, to recruit a number of students. With the University in India called KN. I'm telling you, the process to access that university, that program, is a very good scholarship, but the process is very tedious. If you are not patient, you will just abandon it. The same thing to this scholarship. We appreciate those who persevered and went through, and they are now telling us the testimonies here. The same thing, it is not easier to access some of these scholarships. I told you that I went through the Irish scholarship, and it took me 3 years, and the third year I got it. This time you try, you do IELTS tests, things doesn't work, you go back. Your statement of intent is a very big thing. If your statement of intent is not talking, you can't go through. So your personal statement is very important. They talked about the themes. Your choice of the theme is very important. So to the potential applicants here, it is not just a matter of seeing the call and then putting. It needs a lot for you to understand. The reason why many of our nominated applicants doesn't go through is that they submit the application when they have not fully understood the call and why they are applying. So it is something that you people need to talk about it to the applicants. Applications are received at FAWE and shortlisted at the national level. Using the agreed criteria FAWE has put, we receive the application, shortlist, and then forward the shortlisted to our regional office in Nairobi for onward submission to the regional selection committee for final vetting and shortlisting of highly competent application as per the specified number of slots from the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission. Note, at FAWE we are very keen to promote STEM related courses uptake by the young women. A lot of our emphasis we are put on the STEM subjects as one of our criteria. Who are the target group FAWE is looking at? They talk about developing Commonwealth countries, which Uganda is one of them. FAWE targets only African applicants from our member countries within the FAWE networks. Our recommendation, only look at those applicants from the 34 chapters in Africa we are working with, including Uganda. For master's scholarship, Uganda is inclusive. We have other countries like Cameroon, Ghana, Kenya, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, among others, the countries. And for PhD scholarships, Uganda is also inclusive, including Cameroon, Kenya, and the rest. So those are our target audience, target applicants. Sometimes we make the scholarship guidelines very clear. After receiving this call from UK, we make it more easier for everyone to understand. But many of the applicants, even though we say only female candidates are supposed to be nominated by FAWE, you still find gents apply. So which means you have not read. Who are eligible for being nominated at FAWE? Only female applicants in Africa. Candidates who are currently who have currently contributed to FAWE work, mission. We also recommend former FAWE beneficiaries, FAWE alumni, and then above all, we look at your statement. We look at details of your application. What is your academic plan? How do you plan to give to your communities? So those are the things we give a lot of marks. Academic merit of the candidate is one thing that we consider very seriously. Candidates with first degrees in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, those areas that we look at. And then quality of your study plan, which I've talked about. And then potential impact of your work on the development of the candidates on country. Since we started this program, I told you in 2013, we gave 8 scholarships to the young women, 7 masters and 1 PhD. 2019, we nominated 48, but 17 succeeded. 2020, 23, and then 2021, 19. Some of these details, we shall summarize it and share. It can help the committee as they popularize this program. We'll look through, because some of these details does not specifically look at Uganda, but we want to pull out Uganda so that we are able to provide more and more details. What are some of the challenges as I wind up? Some of the challenges as nominating agency we have got with applicant is failing to meet deadlines. The program, the scholarship has very strict deadlines. Some of the applicants bring their applications after 2 weeks, after 1 week, when the deadline has passed. So many with very good applications have failed to meet deadlines. Another challenge we have experienced is missing documents, missing supportive documents to the application. Some of these requirements are listed very, very clearly, but you find that someone is submitting application with a number of documents missing, and you are contented that you are submitting. Friends, as you apply for this, please put what we call a checklist. If you find your checklist is lacking, you better don't even try, so that you first move around to fill the gaps. Because this checklist, the supporting document, is awarded marks. You are going to lose mark when your things are not full. Prepare. And then issues of referees. Sometimes we contact referees who are not reliable. You say, Okello is my referee, and Okello take 3 months to give you a referee letter. Is that a good referee? And you end up submitting your application without a referee letter. So as you plan to apply for this, check the type of referee you are going to talk to support you with the recommendation. And then also the master student. This is a supervisor where you get a supervisor, the PD student, where you get a supervisor, and you are not in communication with the person you are calling your supervisor, and then the supervisor doesn't support you. So you end up missing the deadline because you have not done the needful to satisfy your supervisor. Above all, misinterpretation of the scholarship information by the applicants. Many applicants, as I told you, that they don't read, they misfire the application. They do what is not right and they submit like that. Please, when you apply, read through the guidelines, read through the criteria and understand well. Even don't be contented with yourself. Call a friend to help you. The second high, is always very good, can help you to identify any mistake which is there. Help a friend, a former teacher, even your referee or the supervisor, above all, those who have gone through the program. I know by the end of this, majority of potential applicants here will get contacts of our friend here, who will at all time help them understand the application process and information. A few recommendations as I conclude. As the alumni committee, you need a lot to do to popularize this program, the publicity, and sensitizing the applicants about this program. We need to go beyond our urban centers. There are more potential applicants in rural areas. I come from Karamoja, where my sister work. A lot of information is not there, and yet when you look at students applying, like some also receive applications for scholarship, you really feel and say these students can compete for this scholarship. So we could do a lot to popularize this program in the country, and then use the school structures. Let's start from down for students to understand this from down, that these opportunities from exist. Let's start from our local universities. Students will understand that after my first degree, this opportunity is there. And then also, we as the FAWE, we have also noticed sometimes that we get this call late. And by the time you are sending it to the student, you have a short time, and somewhere it affects this. So we are also recommending that with this call should always come on time, so that the applicants also respond on time. And then another last thing is the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission to provide timely feedback to the applicants. Sometimes you apply and you take so long to get the feedback, whether successful or not. And now as nominating agency, the students keep on disturbing us, the applicants disturb us for the feedback. So it is always very good. Whether someone is successful or not, there should be timely feedback for this program. Otherwise, I thank you so much for listening to me. We are available for any other opportunities. Apart from the Commonwealth Scholarship, we nominate and support a number of students to go back to school. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Okello.